Okay, spam sushi. Right, before we go any further, I don't want anyone to get excited. I'm not trying to be authentically Japanese or Korean or anything like that. I'm just having a bit of fun with some spam and some nori and some rice and a few other ingredients. Sizzling away over this way is some of this spam. I'm just cooking it in batches because we all know spam tastes even better when it's been fried. Also in the corner over there, out of eye shot, is my rice cooking away, getting ready for the rolling of the sushi rolls. And into the same pan I fried my spam in. Just want to melt a bit of butter up and throw in a julienne of carrot. And I don't really want to cook this until it's a mush. I just want to turn it around in it for a couple of minutes until it relaxes a little bit, and then that becomes another ingredient for my sushi. A couple of black cumin seeds, because they do look rather good with carrot. So, otherwise known as kalonji or nigella seeds. Just put in a couple of pinches of those. They look rather good. And I think that's it relaxed enough. And really, this is all about assembling the ingredients. So what I'll do is I'll just take that and transfer it to this plate. Helps if you got the right tool for the job. So I'll just transfer that over there, and then I'll get on with another ingredient. The other ingredient is this Korean kimchi, which I absolutely adore. It's a pre and probiotic, really good for you, good for your immune system, good for your stomach, just good for you in general, I think. So I'm going to put a bit of that in some of my sushi rolls. Okay, what we got so far? We've got our nori, which is a baked seaweed. We've got our battens of spam. We've got some kimchi, which I might have to snip down a bit more and drain before I use. We don't want too much moisture inside the sushi rolls. I've got some long strips of cucumber. I probably won't use all of those, but they're kind of the same size as the nori. I've got some strips of fresh, uncooked yellow, orange and red peppers, and I've got that carrot I showed you earlier. The only thing I need to do now is sort out some egg, and I'm just going to fry up a flat omelette with some egg. I'll beat that up nicely because I want the yolk well mixed in. Okay, we all know how to make an omelette. I just put that in the frying pan and then turn it once and then cut it into strips, and I'll show you that now. Okay, so put the egg into the hot pan and let it spread out, but it's still a bit wet on top, so I'm just going to place the lid on it and let it steam away for a minute. So that's the egg brought back, and all I need to do now is cut that into strips. Right, the rice. Let's have a look at that. I think what I'll do with that, I'll do it more the Japanese way than the Korean way. The Korean way, I think they just put sesame oil into it. But I think I'm going to dress it with a little bit of sugar. And they would use vinegar. So that's less than a teaspoon of sugar on top of it. And the only vinegar I got that I would like to use for this would be about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Like I said, I'm not trying to be authentic. I'll just sprinkle that over the rice. little bit more to make about a tablespoon, and that effectively pickles the rice. So I'll mix that in well, and then I'll spread this out on a large plate to let it cool down, because I don't want to be working with it while it's hot. Many thanks to my sponsor, Mr. Paul, for helping me bring you this video. Thank you very much, my friend. So that's transferred it to the plate. I'm just going to spread it out a bit. So I'm going to let that cool, and then we'll get back and finish rolling these up, right? So there we are. We've got the sushi rice. We've got the plate of ingredients that side. I've got my egg that side, kimchi, spam. I've got my sushi rolling mat here. It's just a simple bamboo mat. You can pick these up just about every cook shop, certainly online easily. So it would be called a sushi or a gimbap rolling mat. In here I've got a mixture of sesame seeds and nigella seeds, or black sesame, which I'm going to decorate some of the rolls with. Right, let's get started. Okay, let's put one of these together. First of all, I'm going to just bake or lightly toast my nori sheets on over a fairly hot flame. I don't have a hot flame, but I'll just hold it over the element on my cooker and use it from there. So every nori sheet has a shiny side and a slightly more dull side, but it's the dull side that goes down. First of all, I'm just going to make sure I get some heat on over that. Just toast it slightly and then set it on my mat. Then I want to transfer some rice to it, and then we spread that out as well as we can over 3/4 of the sheet, leaving the top quarter free. And you want it evenly at an even height and spread evenly over the 3/4 of the sheet. Once you're happy with that, you start arranging the items in it. Now, I'm going to slightly let it overlap where I need to, but I'm just going to put in a couple of pieces of that. Some egg in this one. I think I'm going to put some English mustard on this one, because English mustard goes rather well with spam. You can use whatever mustard you like with it, or don't use it at all. That's your choice. I'm going to put in a bit of carrot with that on this one, and I think I'll be happy with that. So then what we do is we lift it over all the way so that the rice on this top part meets up with the rice on the bottom. At least that's the theory. So once you've got it in, you can roll it tight with your mat, and that's where the mat really comes into its own. So it makes it nice and stiff like that. What you can do is wet this bit a little bit on there and then finish the rolling. But then roll it nice and tight so you end up with a nice sushi / gimbap roll like that. And then we'll get on and do another type now, and this type I'm doing inside out. So I'm going to spread the rice onto the mat, and spread it out. some of the instructional videos told me it'd be easier to do with my fingers, but I don't find it that easy. So I find using the spoon and the back of the spoon to be a bit more accommodating, let's just say. I think I'm fairly happy with the way that's spread out. So I toast my nori sheet, and that goes on top with the shiny side down, and then we can start filling it again. Only this one's inside out. You see the difference? I think I'll put some peppers on this one. Some carrot. And a strip of cucumber. I like cucumber. Some of you may not like it, but I love it. And then we roll it, only this time with the nori on the inside. I think I should have gone to the whole length with the rice on that. Yeah, I should have done. Screwed that up. I think in this one I'm going to put some spam, some egg, some kimchi, kimchi is one of those very polarizing items. People tend to either love it or hate it, a bit like Chinese mustard greens, and also like sauerkraut in the Western culture. If you like sauerkraut and you like spicy food, you're going to love kimchi, I promise you. And I'm going to put quite a bit in this because kimchi is absolutely gorgeous. Try not to get too much moisture on it. Round till it meets, tuck it in, press it down, roll it out. And it's come out fairly moist. I hope that won't split up my wrapper, but it seems to be alright so far. Just give it a good squeeze. And I'll show you this one. This is one I did off camera that turned out to be a little bit of a disaster, but I think you know where I was trying to go with it. I was trying to do an inside out one. I'm just not experienced enough to know, so I think what I'll do is I'll just do a bit of disaster recovery on that, sprinkle some of my goodies on it, and hope my brother doesn't notice. I think that'll look alright when it's cut up. It looks pretty disastrous to me at this point, but you know, I'm a newbie. This is probably only the third time I've ever made sushi, and it's really just the first time I've ever made this kind of California roll, you know, type of sushi. But we'll see how that turns out. I'll put that to one side. What I like to do with these rolls is I like to brush them with a bit of sesame oil, which makes them look slick. And again, dress them with a few seeds. The black seed seems to disappear into these, but I think you know where I'm going with that. And then it's a case of cutting them up. So let me just move that to one side. And it's handy to have a wet cloth so you can keep your knife moist for this. And then I just cut them into individual rolls like that. If your knife blade gets dirty, wipe it with a wet cloth or a wet piece of kitchen paper. That's my dishwasher nagging me that it's done. So there we see, that's looking pretty handsome. So I'm just going to transfer those to a plate and then show you what that looks like all dressed up. Okay guys, if you want to help the channel, you can like, subscribe and share and tell all your friends. If you'd like to help with a donation, there's links below to Subscribestar and to PayPal, and there's also, for YouTube viewers only, there's the super thanks button just below this video. Thank you very much. Thanks in advance. Okay, there we have it. My spam sushi. All a good bit of fun. Not taking myself too seriously about this, but I'm fairly pleased with the result. So I'll just bring you back up for a taste test. Okay, taste test. I'll try the first one I made. It's nice, the mustard's coming through. Yeah, that'd be nice with a little dash of soy sauce on it and maybe a dip in wasabi. That'll be really good. Now for some of the kimchi one, which I'm expecting good things of. That's my favourite of the two. That's really nice. Very nice indeed. Brutally honest, it's not the best sushi I've ever had, but the best sushi I've ever had was made by a sushi master, so I think I have a bit of a way to go before I get there. But in terms of flavour, it's fantastic. So I encourage you to have a try at making it. It's not as difficult as it may at first seem, and it's something for which I know that you could quickly get in the stride of and make easily if you made enough of it, you know, because of muscle memory and things like that. I'm going to have another one of these. Spam sushi. Rather pleased with that.